Peace to everyone. You might be asking why I'm wearing this funny looking thing around my neck. Now, the only name I could find for it in Muskogee is Konawv. It's a necklace. I don't know if it's a proper term for this kind of necklace, but in context, I will say that this, I don't know everything about it, but I will say that it is worn during stickball games around the green corn. And there is in the Muskogee Media Vault on their YouTube channel, there's a video, there's one on the green corn, there's one on stickball, and this is all green leaf, okay? So my family hasn't been active at the grounds for generations, but those are our people, okay? Some of them are wearing these, and sometimes are wearing the Govka, the breechcloth, and I don't know what this represents. I don't actually know what this exactly, I think it has to do with turkey, gobble gobble. I could be wrong, okay? I could be totally dead wrong on that. But what I will say is, even if I knew the full purpose and meaning behind this, I don't know if I would be at liberty to discuss that. Now, there are some clandestine photos I've come across online, mainly through Facebook group messages, where you see guys at what I believe is a medicine-related event. They're probably touching medicine, and they're wearing these. So these are still worn today. These guys obviously weren't playing stickball. So, you know, there might be more meaning behind this than simply within the context of the game. I don't know. And if I knew, I may not be at liberty to discuss. But as an artifact, as a part of our physical culture, what I did is, in the process of making my leggings and breechcloth, my Govka, there's scrap material left over, and you see I stitched it together. The backside actually is where I primarily stitched it. The stitches look nicer there. And as soon as I put this thing on last night, I had this sort of realization, because there's images of Creeks with chest tattoos. For example, Tomochichi and his nephew. You don't see his nephew with the tattoos, but you see Tomochichi. I believe it's when he met Oglethorpe or beforehand. You see a picture of him holding his nephew, and his nephew's literally holding an eagle, and they've got like a buffalo robe or a bear skin robe around him, you know, some type of fur. And it's interesting because his tattoos are kind of reminiscent of this, in my mind. Now, particularly because stickball is little brother of war. People literally died playing the game, and it was not considered murder if you killed someone during a stickball game. So it's something that happened back in the day. I mean, people get bones broken, they get the crap beat out of them, pretty much. I mean, I'm reading the comment section of the Muskogee Media video from the vault, and people are talking about, you know, men getting shirts ripped off and all kinds of stuff. So it's very interesting to see what people who were there at the filming of that video, some of them are saying, and just kind of getting little tidbits of history of, you know, as sparse as the info is on the grounds itself. But yeah, considering that this thing is used during the Little Brother of War, it doesn't surprise me too much to see Tomochichi with tattoos that are, you know, go look up his portrait. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, interesting stuff. I'm going to make one of these for my boy. I need to get another set of stickball sticks. And I've tried to teach him a little bit with what little I know, you know. with the set that I bought in Okmulgee back in 2010, but I need to have a second set, and we can practice together a little bit better, at least picking up and throwing the ball. So I need a proper ball. The one that came with it was some plastic pleather foam thing. I need something a little more robust. Probably rawhide or something along those lines. But I digress. We can get golf balls too. That would work. It's not a terrible idea, to be honest. Just got to watch out for windows. I need to build a pole with a fish on it as well, because that's something that was had. I got to study more of the rules of the game. I know that the Choctaw stickballers absolutely have kicked our butt for generations. I think they took over territory by winning a ball game, if I recall the details correct. So it's crazy. But hey, OG Bofa, Hickory Ground challenged the Porch Band to a game of stickball to take back the land. Obviously, Porch Band's not going to take it the challenge because, that's what they're about. I'm sorry. There's a lot of nice people at Porch Band, but yeah. There's a reason why their roles are closed, why there's tons of people that theoretically should be able to be on their roles, but are not allowed to because they weren't enrolled by 1980 or whenever it was. They quickly open and close the roles. So just saying, right? Got to take a stab at those people as often as we possibly can and shame them for what's been going on for, too many years. I don't want to be hateful towards all Porch Band people, by the way, but there is just criticism to be had and given. Okay, so anyhow, but they Nico George Thompson and his assistant challenged them to stickball, and to my knowledge, the challenge has not been accepted. So, in any case, yeah. So, from what I understand from the video I saw, basically stickball sticks, your breechcloth, and your belt are like three things that would be hanging up overnight. But then some of the guys, if you watch the video, and I'll try to link in the description to this, but only a few of the guys even had these. Only a few more beyond that even had breechcloths. And this is like filmed back in, I think, the 1970s. It's in color. It's very kind of grainy looking. I would love to see the original footage like remastered. That would be so cool. But I don't know. We need someone who's in the industry to get their hands on these archives, and with the intent to resurrect them, essentially. So, if the original copies are even to be had. So, who knows what kind of condition they're in. Think about Star Wars. George Lucas, before digital remastering stuff in the 90s, like, he had all the stuff sitting in a vault. And by the time they got back to it, like, I saw like video footage of them replaying the original reel, and it was like the color was all messed up. So they had to like fix it. Like, it's amazing. So I don't know what they would do, like what we can really do to fix the archival footage. It might just be digitized in grainy form forever. But anyway, people are right to be concerned about stuff like that and stuff like this showing up on the internet. And again, I can't tell you all the details about this thing. All I can tell you is that it was used with I believe it was the Thaplako Okima stickballers back in the 1920s or 30s. I gotta find that photo. I might make that the video, this video's icon or part of it. I might pick stitch a photo with another. But I will say that back then, these are definitely being used. And as of that Greenleaf stickball video of, again, I think 1970s, maybe early 80s at the latest, you know, they were still being used. I imagine today they're still being used. But I have not been to a green corn, and I've not been to any kind of stickball game outside of a green corn, so I don't really know. All I'm able to base it off of is our archival footage and any kind of photographs I've seen, including the clandestine ones. So I know for a fact these are still being used today by some of our people who I believe are more connected to the medicine tradition. So, because medicine is also connected to stickball. If you watch the Greenleaf stickball game in the Muskogee stickball archive video, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's you know, like, they talk about this stuff. So, you know, but anyhow, this is what I got. I'm currently working on a couple of Igovka, like 2 years ago now, basically, or almost 2 years ago, I started making my Igovka, the breechcloths, and I started with the red one. I'm actually further along with the blue one, that has red trim versus the red that has dark blue trim. They're coming along. I will upload something to do with that soon. I might finish one, and then before I finish the other, then do a video so you can kind of see the early stages. But I'm looking at my stuff right now. I've got material I've got 2 sets of leggings I'm working on, one red, one blue. The blue one's going to be more of like a 1700s, side stitch style. The red one's going to be more of a front stitch with the buttons, like what you see Macintosh and Osceola and McCanavy wearing. So that's going to be a little more like high end. But so yeah, they're all felted wool, and yeah, I mean, this stuff, so it does itch a little bit. So my stuff's all going to be lined with cotton. It's just the way it's going to be. And yeah, I've got some bandolier bags I'm working on. I got my sons that I've got basically in a very basic, simple form. There's no beadwork that's going to be probably on it. If I do, it's going to be very minimal, and it's not going to have backing on it. Now, I'm going to make myself another bag or two. There's the Seminole style bag I'm working on that it's going to remain a work in progress for a while. It's going to be in development hell, as they call it in the movie industry. But I'm going to make a red one and a blue one, and I'm going to do some more. I'm going to back both of those. I'll do beadwork on both of those, and I may make my son another one that does have beadwork. We'll see, or I'll just take the one he has and do some minimal beadwork. Yeah, just keep it simple. Not going to go too crazy on it, because there's no backing on it, and he's going to wear it at some point. But as far as my Igovkas, I'm going to put some striping on the front of them and get them going. You'll see all this stuff in the future video. I shouldn't really get too much into it at the moment, but I'll make him one of these. My son, I have enough leftover material that I probably could make Michael one of these, but like, half the size. And then by the time I'm done with my leggings and all the other stuff, there's going to definitely be enough scrap material to make at least another one. So if I don't have enough scrap now, I will by then, to make him one of these guys. So I know they're funny looking. They are funny looking, but there is definitely an historical provenance and context to these things. And again, I do think it has to do with either the tattoos have to do with this, or this has to do with the tattoos. I'm not sure what came first, the chicken or the egg, in this situation, because I wasn't around back then. None of us were. But this obviously has a context to war, as do those tattoos. So anyhow, that's enough for now. I think I'll let you guys go for now. So if you have any questions, definitely leave some comments in the comment section below. And again, if I ever make it to green corn, if I ever make it to these things, there's things I will not be able to talk about on this channel. Like, I won't be able to. There's just, like, out of respect, there's just, So me even showing this thing, some might look at this and be like, what are you doing? You know, but just keep in mind, here's my excuse. One, there's a bunch of photographs out there. There's also video footage. There's also artifacts, like just like this, in the National Museum of the American Indian, and you can find it on their website. And you'll find them coupled up with, like if you look up Muskogee, then it'll pull up a whole bunch of material culture stuff. If you look up the breechcloth, you're going to find, with some of them you'll have this. You'll also have the belt sash. So like that stuff will be in some of the same photographs. So don't shoot the messenger. Any of you who are raised more in the medicine tradition, don't get mad that I made this video and, you know, made one of these for people to see. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to, you know, be disrespectful in any way. I'm trying to be respectful while at the same time exhibiting Muskogee material culture. So you might say from a scholarly standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, I want these things to exist and for people to know that they exist. And that's why I'm making these videos. So if those of you who are interested in making these, oh my gosh, man, they're so easy. Like I said, just, you know, make a loop over the whatever width of ribbon, excuse my acne, I think that's what that is. Yeah, just take a piece of ribbon, 1/2-inch ribbon, and make a loop around it. And then just stitch a bunch of these things together by hand, just like I did, all by hand. And they're super easy to make. And then, yeah, I guess go play some stickball. All right, Mado for watching, and I can't talk. Hadam Chichatlis.